Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Deepa from Designs by D, and today my video is a post for Scrap and Stamp Canada. They have the May Inspiration Hop going on right now, and this hop is all about scrapbooking and scrapbooking ideas for National Scrapbooking Day, which is today. So I hope you guys have a look at what I have going on here. I have a scrapbook layout, and I just wanted to show you how I put this together. I used a bunch of different products. So I didn't actually use like a scrapbooking kit or paper pads. I actually used my stamps and dies to create all of the little elements that I added to the scrapbook layout. And this scrapbook layout is supposed to ooze a whole bunch of spring vibes and color and art, and I hope you've been inspired by what I have to show you today. So let's go ahead and get started. These are all the products I used. I'm using the Pink Fresh Studio Miss Your Smile stamp set, along with the Concord and Ninth Lovely Letters uppercase and the lowercase stamp set. These are perfect when you want to make a personalized sentiment instead of using something already made. Then I'm using the Spellbinders Painter's Palette and Artist Brush dies. These are really cool, especially when you want to give your projects an artistic look. Not to mention, I'm using a 12 by 12 inch piece of white cardstock for my scrapbook layout. Now, when I'm doing scrapbooks, I absolutely love to use this Tim Holtz stamping platform because it has like edges. So basically when you put your paper in, it can hang off the edges, unlike the Misty. Now, if you're able to, or you do have it, you can always use the scrapbooking size Misty, but I don't have that. So this is what works for me. I've gone ahead and stamped out that Miss Your Smile image in some Spectrum Noir Flagstone ink, and this is a alcohol ink safe ink to use, so it's not going to smudge when I'm coloring it in. And I've got my Spectrum Noir tri-blends, and these are actually from the Scrap and Stamp store. I first saw these on one of Jess's lives, and I loved how they worked. And the best thing about them is that you don't have to put all that extra time thinking, okay, I gotta find my darker color, I gotta find my mid-tone, I gotta find my light tone in order to create your color combinations. They all come in one pen. So basically each marker has 3 colors on them, which are the 3 different tones that you need to color in your images. And all I have to do is kind of pick a few of them that I need, and I'm ready to go. So for example, on this one, I used the magenta blend, also a violet blend, along with the green alpine blend, and those are only 3 markers. But when you think about it, that's 3 markers times 3 tones, so it's actually 9 markers in one, which also makes this a good choice. If, say, you're doing some coloring on the run, maybe you're taking a project somewhere, you don't have that much room to carry around a whole bunch of markers, you just grab a few here and you've got tons of different colors ready to go. So I've kind of sped up my coloring process here. I'm not doing anything too complicated. For the flowers, what I tend to do is kind of just imagine, you know, the curves of the leaves and where shadows would fall. So where the leaves kind of curve inwards and like on top of each other, underneath there'd probably be a shadow. Closer to the center, it's probably darker. And I just start with my darkest color, fill in all those shadows that I think, wherever I think they would be, especially where you see the lines where I stamped it. That's where I think shadows would be, and then I just add my darkest tone, my mid-tone, and then I just blend everything out with my lightest tone. Now, it is important to note for the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blends, there are 2 packs. So one is the starter pack, which is the one that I have here. It's the lighter gray pack. It has all of the colors you'll need. And then you also have a darker tones pack, which is the black pack. So that just basically extends the use of the other markers that you have in the original pack, which I have yet to get, but I'm saving up for that one. So I like to have the picture ready that I'm going to use. I have mine already printed out. I usually print it out on my color printer. And I have this Pink Fresh Studio scalloped stitch rectangle die, which I use to cut out the image or the frame from some Sizzix Opulent gold mirror cardstock. And then I framed my image with that and cut it down to size. Now I need to create all of the little elements that are going to kind of jazz up my background. So I'm using the Pink Fresh and the Meadows layering stamp set. So I'm trying to show you here that there are 5 stencils, and I like to get to know my layering stencils before I actually start using them. I kind of look at them and figure out, okay, which are the leaf portions, which are the flower portions, and there's actually 2 stencils, and I'm kind of showing you with my fingers what numbers they are if you go back and kind of pay attention. I kind of missed that here. But there are 2 stencils that are just mainly leaves. You have an open layer of leaves, then you have the detail of the leaf. There are 2 stencils that are leaf and flower. So open portion of the leaf and flower, and then the detail of the leaf and flower. So you're probably going to need some smaller brushes to kind of color in the flower and kind of mask it off from the leaves, because you probably don't want them the same color. But I like that this layering set is made in such a way that you could add a color to it and create kind of like a watercolor type effect with it. And then the last stencil is just all of the little bits in the centers of the flowers, and there's also, I think, on the leaf portion, little berries that you can do in different colors. So I'm showing you here, this is the leaf and the flower portion. I'm adding ink to the leaf portion. I've left the flowers, and now I'm going to use like a smaller blending brush, and these are perfect for adding detail and doing these little effects here where you have stencils that have more than one thing on it, like you're going to use more than one color. And this one, I made 2 backgrounds. So I have one panel that's going to be made with pinks and another panel that's going to be made with purples. So the first panel, I've already done the open part of the flower. This is the second panel. I did the open part of the purple flower. Now I'm going to do the details. So I'll do that in the exact same manner as the open part. I am adding ink to all of the detailed portions of the leaves. And I'm noticing here that these other leaves are they're going to be hard to do with that bigger brush. So I grabbed a smaller brush to fill that in. And again, I'm using the smaller brush for the little flowers here. Now, I'm also noticing that there's a couple little flowers in these leaves up at the top. So I'm just using my brush and I'm trying to get those. And then all of those other little bits there are the little berries. So I took a different color cosmic berry, fitting enough to fill in the berries. And now I'm going over the pink. So you can see this again. I'm going over the actual flower with the darker pink. Then I'm using some purple wine, and this is going to be the color of the berries. So just all of those tiny little berries. Of course, this little brush comes in handy for that. And now I've got the final stencil, and this is just all of the tiny little details for the berries. So I'm adding some paper bag ink. So all the inks I've used are Altenew, and I'll have all of the products that I've used linked in the description below in my blog. And so you can see everything that I've used there. A lot of them are from Scrap and Stamp, and I do encourage you to check out their product selection. It is getting bigger, and I'm so excited that they've got pink fresh stuff now. So those are all of the pieces I got in the end after I cut them out. Now for these 2 artist die sets, I've gone ahead and cut everything out of white cardstock, and this is just my go-to. I love cutting stuff out of white and then adding color after. Again, it's kind of like my lazy way of doing it, because then I don't have to think about finding all of the different colors of cardstock. And in this case, I did color my image, so I thought I'd just match the colors to the colors that I used on that image on the layout. So I'm putting together this little paint tube here, and I've made it that magenta color that is part of that big flower that I used in that layout. And all of these little detailed elements I've added with some gold metallic cardstock. Now these little pieces here are the little bristles that are supposed to go on that beautiful paintbrush. And so I'm just adding the purples onto there, because what I'm going to do is have it hanging off of the edge of that stamped image that we colored in, and it's just going to drip some of the color as if like we're painting that beautiful flower image with this paintbrush to add color. This scrapbook layout is really just to celebrate life and art and color, and I really liked this brush and thought that it has a really neat 3D element by having all of these little bristles. So to jazz it up a little bit, I did add some gold bristles behind the purple and thought that that just looked snazzy. I really don't know what other word to use for it, but it's just all of those little extra little details that I find make your layout and your images just kind of pop and stand out. So I've gone ahead and put together the little palette. I've tried to make it look kind of wooden, and I don't know, if I went back and did this again, I think I might have made it more white wooden rather than brown wooden, but hey, I think it still works. So now for my sentiment. So I have a sentiment that I kind of looked up online and I just really liked it. And it is "Life is art, live yours in color." And I thought this was perfect for this layout because I really wanted to make it that artsy looking type of layout. So I'm using those Concord and Ninth uppercase and lowercase letter sets, which are perfect for something like this where you want to tailor your sentiment to something that you've seen or something that you want, especially if maybe you're writing a name in a card or whatever. This works perfectly for that because you're just basically picking all your little letters and putting them together. And this set is a handwriting set, and it's somewhat whimsical in that you don't have to have everything in a straight line. You don't have to have everything touching. Like it works. So you don't have to spend too much time lining everything up and making sure it's perfect. So I'm going ahead and stamping all of these out, and I'm using some VersaFine Clear Nocturne ink. I like the Nocturne ink because I find that I don't have to stamp more than once. And especially in this case where I'm stamping all of the little letters, I don't want to have to double stamp and triple stamp and that type of stuff because it might end up messing up the actual stamped image. So the VersaFine works perfect for this because I kind of stamp once and it's just so nice and pigmenty and colored that I don't have to do it more than once. So now my sentiment is nice and stamped out. I let it dry a bit because I had some rulered lines there, and then I ended up erasing them. Now you can see in some of these letters that they don't connect, and if you do want to make them connect, I just grabbed my Micron pens, which are just like your ink basically, and you can use that to kind of just connect the little letters from one to the other. Now moving on, I'm using this Pink Fresh Studio Folk Edge Circles dies. Now these come all in one pack. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, and I'm actually attaching them all together. And what I'm going to do is cut them all out in one go. And you get all of these different little circles. You've got some plain circles, you got some with the folk edge, and these work perfectly for just highlighting and adding cute little elements to your backgrounds. This could also work for a card. So now I have all of my little elements cut out and ready to go, and it's just a matter of putting everything together on this layout. So I'm just going to attach all of these beautiful in the meadow leafy sets, and along with those circles around the picture frame and with the palette and the paintbrushes, and just put it all together for you. Now, pardon me if I'm wrong, but I am recording this ahead of time. The Scrap and Stamp team is going to be very generous. I'm sure they're going to have some giveaway for this. So go ahead and make sure to read the description and figure out what it is that you need to do in order to be entered to win, because I really wouldn't want you to miss out on that. And since you've had a chance to kind of look at my layout, I hope that you're able to participate as well. So beyond that, I hope that this layout has inspired you in some which way. You can see I'm adding the little drops to the paintbrush here, and that just, I think that really made the layout stand out, especially right beside that sentiment that says "Life is art." And you can see I'm adding those little circles all around the frame, and they just really make the flower stand out a little bit, especially because they are a metallic tone. So yeah, in the background here, I'm just going to go ahead and put everything together. As you can see, I also have some gold glitter cardstock that I'm putting behind some of these flower pieces. So I took the die for the In the Meadow set, and I also cut it out from gold glitter cardstock just to add those little background pieces. And again, those are little things that just help the actual image stand out and just look a little bit nicer. So it's really up to you how you jazz your stuff up. This is what I tend to do. Now I'm also going to be adding some embellishments to it, and I really hope there's something you can pick up from here and make a scrapbooking project yourself. And scrapbooking is really near and dear to me because I used to scrapbook. That's actually how I got into paper crafting, because when my first daughter was born, I started scrapbooking to capture all of those cute little memories, and then I slowly evolved into card making. And lately I've been doing so much card making, I forgot that I can scrapbook too, you know? So it's really nice when occasions like this come around. They just remind you to kind of tap into those skills that you have and to kind of go back and explore the things that you originally loved. So I'm really happy to be a part of this hop today. I'm so glad that I've been able to make something that may inspire you and to basically just be part of this great crafting community and to have fun scrapbooking again. So I hope you guys have been inspired. I've said that many times. That really is the point in my videos, to make sure that you've been inspired. Don't forget to hop along for the Scrap and Stamp May Inspiration Hop. Take a look at everybody's inspiration. Don't forget to enter yourself and follow the instructions in the description to be part of the contest they have going on and the giveaway. And I hope that you all have a great day, and don't forget to make something scrapbooky or do something crafty today. And that's I think the main point of this hop and of National Scrapbooking Day. So I'll see you guys next time, and please don't forget to like and subscribe if you did like this video. Have a great day, guys. Bye.